Okay, let's kick this meeting off. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome to the planning board meeting. We'll be following the agenda that's on the table over there. So you know the order of what we're doing. Please silence all of your electronic devices so we don't have any interruptions. Tonight, we'll be following the rules and procedures approved by this board earlier this year. A few administrative details. There's an exit that you came in. There's an exit in this back corner. But I always tell you the easiest way is just follow Ron. He'll be the first one out, so don't worry about it. We do have a generator and all the rest, so we're good to go. The first item on the agenda is the minutes of the planning board meeting from March 18th. Everybody have a chance to review them? Changes, corrections? Do I have somebody, a motion to approve? Moved by Adrian, seconded by Regina. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. No legal notices were required. First item up is PB 2026-0101 and 0102. Farmington Meadows, Cook Properties for the Farmington Meadows Incentive Zoning Project. Do we have anybody for that one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Ed Martin with Passero Associates. I'm joining you online tonight.
Hey Ed, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you, sir?
Very good.
So I've been in communication with Mr. Brand, and I understand that tonight is not an appropriate time to request the preliminary approval. So I'll just update the board very briefly. We've provided the town with updated turning maneuvers based on information provided by your fire department on the larger truck. And those demonstrate safe maneuvers throughout the site. And we continue to work through the technical questions raised by MRB, and our goal is to submit updated plans and responses by 1 week from today, and hope to be back in 2 weeks to request preliminary approval from y'all. And so with that, I would ask if there's any questions or comments from the board or the public that we could take into consideration and include in our responses in the next week.
Okay, we'll turn it over to staff. We do have a resolution in front of us to continue the public hearing and till the 15th of April. So Paula?
I'm all set.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm all set with continuation. That turning radius just came in. I'm not sure whether the fire department really has had an opportunity to look at that yet.
Haven't talked to the chief yet.
Okay.
Okay.
That, along with the water issue.
All right.
The
Sean?
water and
Oh, I'm sorry.
superintendent is on vacation this week.
Right.
So we gotta wait for him to get back. Those are some of the reasons why we're postponing it till the 15th.
Right. And remind me again about the driveways and whether we can approve that, or has that got to be a variance as well? The 3 driveways as opposed to 1? Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. Never mind. My brain is in another place.
Go at that retirement party today.
Oh, I need another retirement party for me. Sean?
Nothing from the highway at this time.
Okay, engineering,
We're just waiting on revised plans.
fire department.
Haven't heard anything from the chief, so I'm not sure.
Okay, this is a public hearing. This is on the Cook Properties, the Farmington Meadows. Anybody have any comments for or against this application? Anyone online have any more comments for or against this application? One more time. Anyone have any comments about this application? Okay, I have a motion, or I have a resolution to continue the public hearing till April 15th. Do I have a motion? Moved by Doug, seconded by
Adrian.
Adrian. Anyone have any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Tim DeLucia. Vince.
Aye.
Venus Sousa. Adrian Bellis.
Aye.
And Hammond.
Aye. Okay, good to go.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I got confused on that one.
No worries.
Yeah. Okay, we're up to the Volunteer Fire Association. This again is a continued public hearing. Come on up, tell us what's happened since the last time.
Good evening, Joe Trable from MRB Group on behalf of the Farmington Volunteer Fire Association.
Mhm.
Here tonight, hoping that the board finalize parts 2 and 3 of the seeker for preliminary site plan and special use permit applications.
Okay,
The last 2 weeks, working with Mr. Brand, we identified a couple area variances. As you mentioned previously, the 3 driveways, we'll need an area variance for those, as well as some site and building signage.
okay,
So I've made an application to the town, should be on the agenda for the April zoning board meeting. And then the only other thing was requesting the highway superintendent to grant relief for streetlights on Hook Road. So
okay. All right. Paula?
I can confirm that they are on the agenda for April zoning board, 2 variances, 1 for signs, 1 for driveway. We've submitted materials to Labella for review.
Right.
And that's.
Okay, Labella's going to be the town engineer of record, correct? Okay.
It's under review, they're most likely gonna accept it.
Oh, okay. They might
Have
be.
you heard?
Well, I don't know. They're working with some guy named Mike Simon.
Okay,
Enough said?
enough said.
Enough said.
Okay. Ron?
No, the parts 2 and 3 that you requested be drafted they were distributed along with the resolution of findings of the criteria under seeker, leading to a recommendation for a determination of non-significance and moving forward with more detailed plans and a resolution at your next meeting.
Okay. The resolution is for continuation because we haven't got our town engineer of record to review the project and give us feedback.
That's correct.
Okay, that's what I figured. Sean?
So you're wishing to not put any streetlights along the property?
just along the Hook Road frontage, we would be complying with the SOD requirements on 96.
Is there a way that I can get back to you on that one then?
Yeah.
Or does it need to be determined tonight?
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Chris, you're online there from, have you had a chance to review the project? I know it's a cursory review, but you've had a chance?
Yep. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Great. Yeah. So we had some people from my staff just look at the plans. They were at this point you're pretty conceptual, but we did look at it from your site plan, and your SWIP appears adequate. Erosion and sediment controls seem sufficient. Otherwise, the parking looks okay, but at this point, it's hard to really give any more detail because the plans aren't really developed that far. So
Okay.
again, our review was cursory, but from what we could tell, it looked okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Nothing else from MRB? Fire? Okay. This is a public hearing. Do I have anybody to speak for or against this application? Yes, sir. State your name and where you live and. Okay. Okay. Okay.
First is regarding any exterior lighting. This plot of land is surrounded on 3 sides by residential homes.
Mhm.
And while I acknowledge that exterior lighting is required for both safety and security. I am hopeful that those involved in the planning and design of this project will take the minimization of light pollution to account with your design fixture selection.
Sir, we always require our applications to be dark sky compliant. So the answer is yes, it will be taken care of. It's a town requirement.
Thank you.
Okay?
My second comment is regarding the proposed emergency helicopter landing zone.
Mhm.
South of the property. I live directly across, look at that portion of the property every day. There are several portions of that field that are extremely wet and swampy. And I'm hopeful that this project and proposal takes into account some site work to improve the drainage in that field to make access of helicopter-based operations easier for the person.
Well, we are requiring we're gonna have an engineer that we're gonna hire, since typically we use MRB. But MRB is their engineer, so we are hiring another engineer to make sure that those conditions, those issues are addressed. Stormwater, anything that might create any issues whatsoever will be reviewed by a different engineer to make sure that it's taken care of. So the answer is, I encourage you to stay involved with the project so you know what's going on, but at the same time, guarantee you that we will be looking at that issue. Okay? Anyone else have anything to say for or against this application? Anyone online? Okay, with that, anything from the board? This is pretty clear. This is a resolution to continue the two public hearings till the April 15th planning board meeting. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution as presented? Moved by Doug, seconded by
Adrian.
Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
The continuation.
The continuation of the public hearing, correct.
Jim DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Regina Sousa. Aye. Adrian Bell.
Aye.
And Helen Ju-
Aye. Okay, continued. We'll get,
We have the seeker material.
Two more resolutions.
I missed those resolutions. Okay. So we do have these seeker resolutions. They're, well, I did look at them. I just didn't print them. That's what I did. Okay. So, the draft resolutions classify this as a type 1. And then we accept the draft part 2 and 3. So I have two resolutions there. One is determination of non-significance, the other is acceptance of drafts part 2 and 3. Do I have a motion to block these two, waive the reading, and approve these resolutions as presented? Moved by Regina, seconded by Doug. I think all three of you got it. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Regina Sousa. Aye. Adrian Bell.
Aye.
And Helen Ju-
Aye. Well, seeker's been complied with.
Same.
Pardon?
Same thing for 0202. Two more.
Special use permit. Those were for the preliminary site plan.
Okay,
Now we have the seeker for the special use permit.
okay. Two more? Okay, I didn't print anything, did I? Okay, we have the same basic thing for the special use permit. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve, block these two resolutions and approve them as presented?
Motion by Tim.
Motion by Tim, seconded by Adrian. Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Regina Sousa. Aye. Adrian Bell.
Aye.
And Helen Ju-
Aye. I guess next time I'll print off some more. Better. Okay, so seeker's been complied with for special use permit and the preliminary site plan. The preliminary site plan, public hearing is held over till the next meeting. Okay?
Sure.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, next item up is PB 2026-0301 virtual church. Where are we at with that one, sir? Come on up.
Well, they printed kind of small. I don't know, you want it up here or you want it over there?
You can put it over there.
We didn't even think we would have it today, but,
Mhm.
this is the first printing, yeah. Of what the house is supposed to be. It's pretty much one floor, it's got a small wall up here, but that's on one meeting. And I've never read with me, so maybe you can rewrite it, but that there it is.
This is,
Not too big.
staff had a chance to review this, everything?
No, Chris is not on.
Staff's had a chance to review the drawings and everything?
It looks,
I think, is that just the site plan or the? building? Yeah, that's the building, yeah.
Okay, no, that's it then. That's all.
Okay. All right, staff, Paula.
There was question about existing, accessory structures, all of them were permitted. They will be allowed to remain as,
Pre-existing.
non-conforming.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I have nothing additional.
Ron?
I drafted two resolutions for your consideration. One secret type 2, because it's classified that way by the state. The other one is a resolution to approve with conditions.
Okay,
And the conditions are restricting to one driveway for the entire site,
mm-hmm,
unless there's a traffic study that demonstrates the impact of need for a second one.
okay. All right. Sean?
I really don't have a lot to comment on this one.
Okay. MRB?
Nothing at this time.
Fire? Okay, this is a public hearing? No, public meeting. Anybody have any comments on this one? Anybody online? Board? Tim?
Good.
Doug? Adrian?
Good now with the information they gave us.
Okay, we got a resolution here. Did you get a chance to see all the conditions on that one?
Was that email?
Yes.
Yeah, I read it, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. The biggest one is you're okay with just having one driveway though?
No, not really. Not really, but I mean, that's the way it's gotta be. There's no reason. It was already there when we got there. There were two driveways there.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you, so I don't know why. I don't know why we're doing one, but unless the county said we had to, but.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm
Not
just
being used.
I thought I'm just trying to make sure you're okay with the wording in that resolution.
I understand the wording. We're not gonna make it any harder than what it should be. If we need to cover those, then we just cover them with trees, make it look nice.
Okay,
However you wanna fit, however you wanna move forward.
all right. With that, I have a resolution for a preliminary site plan approval with condition. Now, know that once we approve this, if we approve it, then you get your engineer to do these conditions, get it into the town, we sign it, and then he puts in the final, and then we get going. So faster he does that, the better off you are. And the key is work with staff. Okay, do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution? First we have to do the seeker type 2.
You did that when you accepted it at the previous meeting,
Okay, so that's already been taken care
right?
of. Okay, so I misunderstood.
Maybe I misspoke, I
I'm
don't.
getting too old for this. Okay, so we got a resolution for preliminary site plan approval with conditions. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve that resolution as presented? Moved by Regina, seconded by. Doug, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Gina Souza. Aye. Adrian Vells.
Aye.
And Henry.
Aye. Okay, next item up, PB 2026. Thank you. You're all approved, ready to go.
Thank you.
Okay, you got it, buddy. Have a good one. And thank you for helping the homeless shelter. I appreciate it very, very much. PB 2026-0304, Todd Enright. Preliminary site plan application. This is a determination it's adequate for review and board consideration.
Yeah, doing,
Yes, sir.
I'm sitting in for Todd Enright, I'm the contractor.
Okay,
Tonight. Basically.
Just give us a quick overview, because all we're really doing tonight is making sure that it's complete and ready to go to the next meeting.
Everything's complete, all our plans are complete, 1,600 square foot, single family home, walkout basement. We're, just for sale when we're done, we're gonna sell.
Okay, all right. Paul?
I'm all set. I don't know if you.
Ron?
Yeah, the resolution basically identifies this as a type 2 action.
Right?
It identifies that it's not required to be sent to Ontario County Planning
Correct?
as it's exempt by their bylaws.
Okay,
It does require that you send it to the Macedon Town Clerk, however, or them to have the right to provide comments at a public hearing.
okay,
And it also includes you scheduling a public hearing for this action to comply with that provision of general municipal law for the opportunity for adjacent municipalities to comment.
right. So right now it's set to continue to schedule a public hearing for May 6, 2026, where we will finish the seeker and,
No, you did finish this.
we did finish seeker.
It's a type 2.
Okay, type 2, so we don't have to do anything. So then we have the public hearing on May 6th to look at the preliminary site plan.
Yep.
Okay? John? MRB?
All set here.
Fire? Nobody else in the room? Board, ain't got any questions? I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution as presented. Motion by Tim, seconded by
Doug.
Doug. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia.
Aye.
Beat.
Aye.
Regina Souza. Aye. Ethan Phillips. Aye. And Heminger.
Aye. Okay, good to go.
Things are.
We'll send an email to Todd.
Yeah.
He'll get an email.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yep, take it easy. Okay, next item up, Scott DeHollander. This is a EB 02 or 2026-0305. This is a determination that the application is, no, this is final site plan application, final site plan, right?
Is there anybody online to present?
Anybody online for this one?
Your bylaws, I believe, require you to continue it then. Is that not correct?
I don't know, well,
I thought we were just deeming it complete to put on a different agenda. We deem it complete?
this, the resolution that I'm reading here said this was a final site plan with conditions.
Right.
Right?
That is complete. Accepting it as complete and putting it on a different.
The agenda says accept as complete, but the resolution didn't.
I believe that what you asked us to do is if the final site plan drawings agreed with the conditions of preliminary site plan approval,
Did need to
you
do that.
didn't need to do this. Okay?
And it does, and there's very few things, what
Right.
does our rules of procedure say about if the applicant's not here? It's a pretty simple one.
If there's no one,
Somebody has to say if they're okay with the condition.
right,
Either one.
if they don't care to be present, then maybe they'll show up the next meeting.
All right, do I have a motion to lay this one over till the next meeting, till we get somebody to attend a meeting for this application? Anybody have a problem with that? We'll lay it over, consider it laid over. Okay. Next item up is PB 0301-24, letter of credit partial release, Farmbrook subdivision. Staff says everything's fine with that?
Yeah, this one was done a little bit out of order.
Right.
Because the applicant had to either renew the letter of credit for the full amount that remained,
Right.
or could renew it at a lower amount if the town board approved it. Town board decided to approve it, as they have in rare occasions in the past,
Mhm.
with condition that you acknowledge receipt of the letter of credit, and
Right.
your recommendation to them is to,
And staff says everything's complete on that letter of credit?
all the forms are signed.
Okay, with that, do I have a motion to approve the letter of credit? Moved by Regina, seconded by Adrian. Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Michelle?
Aye.
Dean?
Aye.
Regina Souza? Adrian Velez?
Aye.
Berenger?
Aye. Okay, next item up is Town of Victor Planning Board referral to us. Ron, tell us about what's going on here.
If you recall, about a year ago, there was an application for preliminary subdivision approval
Yes.
on this property, which had a number of additional lots. I believe it was 21 at the time, somewhere's around that.
Mhm.
That didn't go anywhere. It's with Victor. And so now they're back, and they want 10 lots. But in this instance, all 10 lots are going to be served by 2 private roads. Both of those private roads connect to Klein Road. One is under I guess the jurisdiction of Victor.
Correct.
And
Past
the
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 town
other
line.
one, this guy over here.
Mhm.
We talked to the town attorney today. There are some issues that we want further discussion on before we submit something back to them in writing that basically says we're good or we're not good with whatever it is. And I defer to the highway superintendent for any
Right.
other.
And this is at this point still a sketch plan that hasn't gone to
This is concept or
concept.
sketch. Okay.
Sean?
They're proposing to have 2 roads put in. One road is on the Farmington side of Crowley, or of Klein Road. And there are 5 houses off of it. There's going to be 5 houses off of the second road, both of which are on Klein Road. But the second road is past the town line,
Right.
so it's entirely in there. They're proposing that it is a private road for both of them under HOA. And we met with the developer and discussed them providing information on who the plow contractor is that gets awarded, so that way if they were to plow across the road, I know who to talk to. You know, if somebody is asking, why is my road not plowed? I know who to point them in the correct direction of, because it would not be a town road to
Right.
maintain or take care of, because they are proposing a completely private road, and they're just asking for access, just an access point
Right.
to their properties.
And the access, if we remember the last time we saw that there were more lots and there were X number of lots in Farmington. This plan has no lots in Farmington except for the access road, the private drive cutting across a Farmington lot coming out on Klein Road. There are some issues I know that they reviewed today with the town attorney. There's a number of things going on. Based on the conversation I've had with Ron, I think what we should do is send Ron off to draft a letter for my signature, telling the town of Victor that we need more information, more time to spend with our attorneys to make sure we make this the proper decision before we can say yay or nay to what they want to do on Farmington Lane. Because what we got today from the town attorney requires some more review. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody okay with that? So Ron, if you would draft a letter on that for my signature with Sean's review, obviously.
Yep.
And then I'll sign it and send it to, the town of Victor's planning board, so they know that we have at least looked at it, but we're not ready to make comments yet until we get more information from the town attorney.
That we look forward to, if it does proceed to a preliminary review, then we'll get it under 239N and of the general.
Right.
principle.
Well, the board should also know that this might come to a point where this requires town board action instead of ours, or both. I'm not sure. So there's a number of things that are still fluid enough, in my opinion, not to make a determination at this time of anything we should say to them. So, okay, so that's where we stand with that.
Well, it's also your policy that you don't make a recommendation based on a concept or sketch.
Exactly.
Site distance is probably gonna.
Site distance is rough, although,
The site distance is rough, and we had a conversation with the contractor to put it there. They moved it as far to the east as they possibly can, while still maintaining the proper apron width without crossing the property boundary lines. They will, the only thing that would be on our roads would be to blind drive, even though it's not necessarily blind, but
Right.
at least to get
some signs. there,
some,
yeah.
to a sign in both directions. To the east, there's adequate sight distance. To the west, there is the curve
Right.
that bends through, and we did have that discussion.
Yeah.
And they were just looking for, if we shut it down for an access point, then they have to redesign potentially the entire thing. And if we would allow if I didn't have an issue with them having an access point, then they would proceed further with the town of Victor, and everything like falls on them to, whether they want one in there. All we have is a short section of road
Right.
to gain access to. There
Right,
isn't a
and then there's-
taxable property on it, but
Right, and there's some questions about the lots and how they carved them up, and about the lots in Farmington, or what they're gonna do with that land that's in Farmington, so we'll see how it all goes. But Ron can draft something that basically says, we're still looking at it, we've got more issues with our attorneys, et cetera, and we'll go on from there, so. Okay, no other board actions, reports, Ron.
Um,
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
the county infrastructure grant application packet was submitted yesterday to the Empire State Development for funding the sewer project that.
So we got awarded that from the county?
We were selected by the. county.
Okay,
Okay, now it has to be approved by the Empire State Development Corp, which is the Genesee Finger Lakes Regional Economic Development Agency.
when did Pete Ingles be as chair of?
No, that's
Oh, that's a
GTC,
different- Okay,
okay? So we'll see where that goes. Kudos to Tom Harvey, because he had all the details as to what they were looking for and helped us carve this concept up into more fine detail
good.
for funding. Glad we got that in before he retired. And the other thing is that we have received information now that the 2 solar projects are ready to move again. They want to move forward with
Which two?
the fish and the one over here on Powerhouse
Okay,
Technology.
and still nothing from the other third.
No, I haven't followed up. I haven't had time to follow up with him on that. I'm also Uh, letting you know that there's a public hearing scheduled for the 14th of April by the town board on a moratorium on accessory structures.
Mhm.
And I hope to have submitted this month a new chapter of the town code dealing with e-bikes, e-scooters, mopeds, and other things that go bump in the night. So I've been working with the Ontario County Sheriff's Office and the Troop E to make sure I'm not overstepping into the state motor vehicle law regulations. And we'll see where this all goes. But it's in reaction to neighbors over there in some of the areas next to the trail that are complaining about kids on motorbikes and dirt bikes, and e-bikes and scooters and golf carts. And the other day I was on 41 and the yellow lights came on and two e-bikes went flying across the road in front of me. So it's just, it's kids. They got to do something somewhere. Other than that, we got to buckle down and do the work now to put the conditions on these two large projects that we have before us for your next planning board meeting.
Okay,
Any questions?
I think that'll do it. Paula,
I just have a sort of the Caleb Court variance for
Oh, yeah.
that thing that was the survey that was submitted. Is that okay for Ed to sign?
I haven't looked at it. I mean, I gotta see the large size. I got a little dinky screen. I don't have like some of these people in the codes office that have screens when you walk up to the window, you can't see anybody.
Her computer's normal size. That's her computer's normal size. It just looks bigger when they're sitting.
okay,
Yeah,
Right, say.
okay,
just so that the board knows, there was a question about an area variance of 8 inches where one of the new homes over there in Caleb Court encroached within the 10-foot setback. The zoning board of appeals made findings on it and granted conditions of approval, one of which was that there needs to be an amendment to the final site plan drawing that identifies the variance and what date it was approved and things of this nature, just for administrative purposes by the town. Because down the road, the next lawyer that comes along is gonna jump on that and say, oh, it's 8 inches too close, got to go back through all this other stuff.
So they submitted an updated survey with the notes for the variance
Okay,
with a spot for him to sign.
okay,
we'll take a look at it, and if it's acceptable, you can either bring it to the planning board to show them what
yep,
changes were made, or you can get their blessing and do it and
okay,
get it over it.
we'll do that. Anything else from you two? Highway,
I take it this is where you would like an update from the elusive highway department on
Yeah.
what we've been up to and what we have coming up. So,
yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
so what we have been up to, it's the winter, so we're plowing, salting most of the time. We have gone through and we've walked every town road and picked up all the roadside trash in town.
Yep,
We were starting the prep work for the new topsoil storage facility. With the maps that I had access to, it was clear to build in the area. According to New York State DEC, after January 1st, that area has informational wetland overlay over top of it. It is not considered wetland. It is not regulated wetland of any kind. It is just now informational. So now we have to wait for it's on hold and waiting on delineation. So that has happened.
You're not shocking us, by the way.
But I figured I would let you know what,
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
So, you own it, right?
Yeah, we've seen this.
So, yeah, no, everything that I had access to, the wetland there's none on our
Yeah.
property of any kind. And now after January 1st, they switched to a new wetland mapping website that I did not know about or have access to. I found out about it on a particular morning, about 2 hours before three of my crew did, when they were at a DEC soil and erosion control course in Canandaigua. And they found out about it the same day. We're about 2 hours separated from each other, and we did not know. So now we know, and it is on pause until further
Yeah.
notice, but I will keep updated.
Okay,
The road projects that we have coming up in the area this year are Stone and Oil will be done on Colette Road from Hook Road to County Road 8.
okay,
On New Michigan from County Road 41 to Town Line Road. And I am trying to get that done early in the morning, potentially before 6, if I can get approval to do so. So that way we can avoid having to hold traffic up in that area at that intersection, because that is a dangerous intersection, especially because it's an east-west, the sun coming up and blinding
Mhm.
drivers. That one will be challenging. We are also going to be doing Crowley Road from Hook to Brownsville. Then for our mill and fill roads, we will be doing Colette from 332 to Mertensia Road. Additionally, it was scheduled last year to do Colette Road from 332 to Hook Road as a mill and fill. And we are awaiting a core sample result to see how thick the blacktop is in the middle section of that road. It was rebuilt when FedEx went through, so it is thickness to standard, and the state right of way is thick enough. I am under the operating knowledge that it is only approximately 2 inches thick total in the middle section of all blacktop. And doing an overlay would cause us having to go significantly into all of the side roads and the adjacent factory parking lots. So to prevent that, we're doing a core sample to see if a mill and fill is even possible. If it is not possible, then it may be a reconstruction in the future, and the mill and fill will be held off this year.
okay,
We will be milling and filling Stonefield all the way down in, just on that main road, not the cul-de-sacs and the roads coming off of Stonefield. We will be doing a mill and fill on Estate from Town Line Road all the way down into the cul-de-sac, and Chelsea, the cul-de-sac on there as well. Additionally, we will be in those areas changing out road pipes underneath the roads and catch basins where needed and identified. So we will be in those areas prior to. The only other thing that is kind of highway related is in 5 weeks is the spring cleanup. Is the 7th, 8th, and 9th, is the first full weekend where it is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all in May. So I believe it is 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Is
So that way we didn't do partially in April and partially in there. And then that Saturday again in the morning is when shredding is available.
cool.
I don't really think that there's much more from me.
Okay, thank you. MRB,
We've been working with the town code enforcement officer to get the MS4 annual report submitted. So that's all set. It got submitted on time. We've been working on some site design criteria updates. A draft copy of those updates will be provided tomorrow at the PRC meeting.
good,
That's all I have.
okay, fire. Okay, board have anything?
We supposed to go over that Canandaigua project there on Town Line Road?
That one's not on it yet.
But it was said that we were gonna talk about it.
Received it. Did we want to talk about that one, Ron?
The Diamond Acres sketch.
Yeah.
for Canandaigua?
I actually had concerns about that one personally because of traffic.
Did you want to review that this time or next meeting?
Well, I think they asked for our comments back following your next meeting.
Please submit your response by April 17th. is after our next meeting, I believe.
Well, that gives you 2 weeks to take a look at what they're doing and
Okay. What were your problems, Sean, just out of curiosity?
Just having more traffic over on, Town Line Road,
Yep.
running down New Michigan, because the New Michigan and County Road 41 intersection is a challenge currently already, and to funnel more traffic down there at rush hour times, traffic builds up significantly.
So,
So that is, you know, just funneling more traffic down there, and a traffic study, I don't know what it could do, but
having done this more than a couple days, assuming that they do a traffic study,
correct,
the traffic study will say nothing.
right. The,
Okay, just, I mean, we can put in what we care about, but the traffic study is gonna come back and it's gonna say there's no impact anywhere
Correct.
for anything.
right.
Okay, just
They're not,
didn't want you to be surprised when you see that.
I've been with the highway department long enough, and people have had enough requests to have speed limit reductions in subdivisions.
that's not gonna
and
happen
there's-
either.
It never happens.
And then,
Nothing ever changes.
neither does traffic studies.
So, right, right.
I hate to be sarcastic and I shouldn't say that. We'll wait till we see the traffic study.
Correct. It is,
Right.
I'm not holding my breath.
There you go.
I'm
Okay.
not holding my breath that would be something that would be addressed and looked at. It's just, you know, in the winter,
Yes.
when it's salt, icy in the road, you know,
Anytime.
during the summer when it's nice and it's 5 o'clock and you got traffic backed all the way up to Coral Drive or
Well, we've asked to have, I know the town has asked to have a light put in there.
I've thought about the light, but I
Oh.
don't know how the light would potentially work, because there'd need to be one over at Mertensia too. And if you sync them, then you're gonna have traffic just clogged up, but if you
Okay,
have the
county has
offset,
said no anyway.
it's gonna be
No
all screwed up anyway too.
Yeah,
I don't know because of the offset of New Michigan.
so we'll be looking for input on this at our next meeting. Anything else from the board?
I need a traffic light in the driveway to get. Rush hour.
He's on Mertensia, right near the corner.
who was the guy out there taking down Christmas lights the other day?
Me.
Okay, with that, I don't
Yes,
really
please.
have anything. I'll work with staff on anything that comes up.
Oh.
With that, motion to adjourn from Adrian, seconded by Regina. All in favor? Aye, okay. Fun and game.